What is packing with your YouTube? This is your man King Howie, back with another video recapping the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers game that ended in a tie. For those of you who watched my live video, I thought we had the game in the bag, but unfortunately we didn't. We got a big time turnover, and with Clinton-Dix intercepting the ball. And then I don't know what happened, man. The play calling just went stagnant. I mean, we kept trying to throw the ball, and it didn't pay off. I could see that the Packers were trying to go for the dagger to end the game, and it didn't happen like that. Shout out to the Vikings, man. It was looking real shaky for them early in the game. You know what I'm saying? The Packers were up 20-7 at halftime. The Packers scored on a block punt for a touchdown with Josh Jackson. Then we got a few stops. And then they scored. I forget who scored the first touchdown for them. Oh, Laquan Treadwell scored a touchdown. And then we went down, and I think we scored with a touchdown to Davante Adams. He juked the shit out of them too. And Davante Adams be putting moves out there when he one-on-one or two-on-one with receiver or DBs. He's the only DB. It might be a few other DBs, maybe Odell Beckham Jr., probably AJ Green, that could just get defenders in an open field and just have them totally miss tackles. Like Davante Adams, he surprises me every game when he gets an open field one-on-one, catch the ball, and he got two defenders in front of him who's not engaging in the tackle. They want to sit up there and dance with him. You're not gonna win that matchup with Davante Adams. Period. You know, he's gonna pull off some kind of nifty, crafty type move to get in the end zone. He's been doing it since last year. Of course, Aaron Rodgers came out there with a knee brace on. The offensive line, I don't even know what to say, what kind of job they did. I don't even know where you should. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was getting hit. He was getting sacked. He also fumbled the ball where he could have ran for a first down. A lot of people are going to complain about the way that the refs ref this game. I mean, the refs can only do so much. At the end of the day, you got to win the game. I mean, Mason Crosby had an opportunity to hit a 52-yard field goal that he missed on the second attempt after the Vikings called a timeout. And then the Vikings, man, the curse of missing field goals just seems to live with that team, man. I mean, I thought Blair Walsh was back out there on the field the way old boy was missing field goals. Remember the game? Remember that game when Seattle came to Washington in the playoffs, and Walsh missed that 9-yard field goal? You know what I'm saying? I think Carlson, the rookie kicker for the Vikings, every time he steps in Lambeau Field, he's going to remember missing those field goals, and he's going to continue to miss them. He's going to continue to miss field goals. Even, you know what's funny? When we play the Vikings again, I could see him missing a field goal at Viking Stadium because he sees so much green and yellow on the other side of that field. I could see him missing a field goal for the Vikings to lose at home the next time we play them. I think the next game that the Packers play against the Vikings will probably be well prepared. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers will be a lot more healthier than he was week 2. I'm excited about that game, but we got to take one game at a time as usual. with the Packers in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? All teams just got to take it one game at a time. Our next game is against Washington, in Washington, and Alex Smith has owned Aaron Rodgers numerous times, with the 49ers. And I'm looking forward to this game, knowing that the Washington Redskins are pretty much banged up. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Test our will on the road, have a road test. So I'm looking forward to that. But the flag on Clay. A lot of Packer fans are going around saying that shouldn't have been a penalty. It's a lot of gray areas with hitting quarterbacks now. So these refs are going to be trigger happy with these flags if they see any kind of inclination of a quarterback, being hit, or what they say, Clay drove him into the ground. Drove him into the ground. Now, if you look at the nature of that hit, it kind of looked like Clay laid him softly on the turf. Like, I don't know what to say about that call, man. I mean, we was getting turnovers until the big bomb down the field by Stephon Diggs. That kind of like just like damn. And we could have had another interception the play after the penalty when Kenny Clark could have picked it off when it got batted up in the air. These guys gotta make plays, man. Zaire Alexander had a great play, interception that got called back. The offense had a couple of touchdowns. Devontae Adams dropped the ball, and then Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown pass, and then they called holding. So, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, this game just seemed like, the refs. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and say all of the bad penalties were called on the Packers. It was bad penalties called on the Vikings as well. You know what I'm saying? They should be mad too about the referees officiating that game. But all in all, it's a tie. People are saying, the Packers missed out on a win, or the Vikings missed out on a win. Truthfully, to be truthfully honest with you, I think the Vikings missed out on a win. This was a chance to come into Lambeau and get a road win. And now, of course, they're going to have the advantage at home when we go play them. But I think we'll beat them at home. Like I said, I think as the season rolls around toward the week we're supposed to play the Vikings again, I think the Packers will be well prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? Barring that we, suffer any kind of injuries that might hinder us from beating the Vikings. But I'm pretty confident that the way that this game went, and knowing that Mike Pettin has a new defense, we still gave up 400 plus passing yards and 4 touchdowns to Kirk Cousins. But that wouldn't have happened if the chain of events that happened in that game would have been upheld. But they were not upheld, and so we gave them a lot of opportunities to throw the ball around the field. But this is the second week with this new defense under Mike Pettin. I'm pretty sure as the season goes along, we'll see things starting to get better. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I think if Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been limited with that knee brace, he could have made more plays, either inside the pocket or out of the pocket, and we probably would have won this game. But as far as the run game, I felt that we should have kept using the run game with Jamal Williams, because he was gashing them for about 3 to 4 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying? Against a defense like that, you just got to take it. You know what I mean? I thought Jamal Williams ran well. I thought the plays that Ty Montgomery capitalized on, I thought he ran the ball well. And I just think the Packers, when it got into the second half of the game, or when it was getting close for us to seal the deal on the game, instead of managing the game the right way, I think they wanted to let Aaron Rodgers do his hero theatric, passing the ball. So when the media comes out the following day, oh, Aaron Rodgers, one-legged, he went out there and he performed at a high level, throwing touchdowns. And I think that's what the Packers was trying to do, like trying to build up the hype machine behind Aaron Rodgers playing like an Iron Man. I think he played like an Iron Man anyway. You know what I'm saying? As many times as he got hit and he kept getting back up, you know what I'm saying? I think he played a great game, you know what I'm saying, being limited. But I think the Packers got a little bit ahead of themselves in the second half. I mean, we had this game sold up. We had it sold up. And, of course, you know, the NFL gods had different plans for this game that ended in a tie 29-29. We have to get better on the offensive line, man. I don't know how much longer Brian Bulaga is going to be able to sustain being the lone hero right tackle for the team, knowing that the backups we do have are not as good as he is. You know what I mean? The next guy coming in to play that position, if he gets hurt after having an ACL tear last year, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So these next few weeks, I'm going to be really looking at this offensive line. I think there's some things that they could have done better. I didn't understand why a lot of the times we didn't run 2 tight end sets. I mean, that seemed to be working with the run game when we did have, you know what I'm saying, Lance Kendricks out there and Mercedes Lewis and Jimmy Graham. Another thing about Jimmy Graham, man, Jimmy Graham was dropping a lot of passes he should have caught, man. I didn't understand that. You know, this is what I was saying about Jimmy Graham. This is his 3rd Super Bowl winning quarterback he has had the privilege to play with. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers. It don't get no better than that in your career to play with 3 Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. And you still out there playing like this is your 2nd year in the league. Jimmy Graham got to get better, man. He just got to get better. And now I see the reason why we have all these tight ends to compensate for him not being able to block. I wasn't impressed with the way Jimmy Graham was blocking. He don't even know how to chip block, bruh. This dude don't even know how to chip block. I mean, how much more perfect do you want Aaron Rodgers to place the ball in your hands? I mean, the ball was right there in his hands, and Jimmy Graham didn't capitalize on a lot of the plays that Aaron Rodgers had thrown the ball to him. And it was just disappointing, man. The bomb down the sideline fell right through his hands. Like the touchdown that Aaron Rodgers threw to him, and I guess the little Hail Mary that Aaron threw up to him hit him right in his hands, and he just couldn't come down with it. You know, we need those kind of plays to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be one of the highly noted tight ends in the NFL, and you with your 3rd Super Bowl winning quarterback, and you just still or maybe I'm just reading into it too much. This is the second. Oh, it's the 2nd game of the season. You know, they have to get their timing down. And see, that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear shit like that because, you know, these dudes practice all the time. You know, Jimmy Graham just got to make plays, man. He got to catch those passes. That's the reason why we paying him fucking $30 million for the next 3 years. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about this game that went down. Yes, this is a picture from last year with Anthony Barr injuring Aaron Rodgers. And I put this picture up there because it was good to see them kind of, you know, make amends to what happened last year, chop it up, talk it out. And they did on the field. They hugged it up afterwards. No hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was, like I said, it was good to see both teams compete at a high level. It was good to see that the Packers didn't turn the ball over. You know what I mean? So we should have won the game. You know, they had an opportunity to win the game. And this just lets you know right now with the NFC North division, that these are the two teams to beat in this division. These are the two teams to beat in this division. These two teams are, you know, the upper echelon of the NFC North today. Today, in order for us to win this division, I mean, shit, both teams got to win. You know what I mean? The Vikings got to win their games, and we got to win ours. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at this game, I don't think the Bears nor the Lions could beat either one of these teams. So it might come down to, you know, the Vikings and Packers, you know what I'm saying, the next game to see who's really going to take over this division this year. But, you know, Mike McCarthy reiterates and says that, oh, we're not worried about hanging division banners. We're trying to win Super Bowls. You know, good for you. It's good for you. But, you know, this is going to be a dogfight for the next for the next couple of years, you know, with the emergence of, you know, Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears trying to work their situation out. I mean, I got a lot to say about the Bears. I'll just say this. I don't expect Matt Nagy to be coaching the Bears for any time soon, knowing that he has to deal with Mitchell Trubisky. I just don't think those two really really mesh. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, this is Mitchell Trubisky's second year. His first year was with John Fox, and now he's converting over to learning the new things with this new coach. That's why I think they lost the first game against the Packers, because the coach had to limit the plays with Mitchell Trubisky. He really don't trust Mitchell Trubisky right now. So who knows how long this, you know, not trusting Mitch and Mitch trying to learn the Nagy way, as far as like how he likes to operate his offense, and, you know, the young cats they do have on the offensive side of the ball. How are they going to learn, you know, from Mitch and Nagy? So it's a lot of things that got to go on with the Bears. And then, you know, the Lions, they have a new coach with Matt Patricia. They still don't have a run game. They got a couple of cool receivers. Matt Stafford is getting banged up. You know, they lost to the Jets, and then they lose to the 49ers. And I think it's just going to be a tough year, period, for the Lions. Actually, for the next couple, the Lions are a mess. They just a mess. But as far as the top two teams contending for this division, you seen it yesterday. And I think a tie speaks volumes on both teams. I really do. I really do. I think the Packers being able to slow down the run game of the Vikings was very key in this game. Very key. You know, we didn't let Delvin Cook get out of control on us. You know what I mean? Plus, you know, another thing, too, the Vikings are not real comfortable with playing on grass. Kirk Cousins is. That's why he was, you know, he played well, because he's used to playing on grass, you know, being in Washington, playing for the Washington Redskins. But I think, you know, Delvin Cook and those other guys, I mean, Adam Thielen and Diggs, you know, those guys are good receivers. They're gonna make their money, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like the run game with the Vikings just wasn't there. You know, I was expecting to see Delvin Cook getting loose. He did on a couple of screenplays and things of that nature, and, you know, catches out of the backfield. But the run game was non-existent. I think at halftime or somewhere in the middle of the third, I think the Vikings had like 9 carries for like 34 yards, thanks to Kenny Clark and Dean Lowry and Corey Toomer and Antonio Morrison. You know, those guys being run stoppers. I think that really helped the Packers a lot. We really wanted to force Kirk Cousins to throw the ball. I mean, we was getting stops. That lets me know right there that, you know, we gave Kirk Cousins a chance to make plays. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think happened. We shut Kirk Cousins down, but we gave him chances to make plays, whether it be penalty or um, or him getting out of the pocket and getting away from a sack. Um, we gave him a chance to make plays, and he made them. You know what I'm saying? Is he still worth the 84 million? Not unless he wins a Super Bowl. That's what the Vikings paying him all that money. That's why they paid him all that money. They think he could get them to a Super Bowl. I don't think he can, but they do. They think he can. I think this defense can get them close to a Super Bowl or get them to a Super Bowl. But winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins, it'll have to be a Nick Foles type of day. It'll have to be a Philly special type of day if that happens. But in all, man, I thought it was a good game. I'm not taking nothing negative or good from the game. I think it was a solid game by two teams that match up pretty well against each other. It's just unfortunate that, the ball didn't bounce either way on certain situations, whether it was a field goal or a penalty called. I think all in all, this was a solid matchup for the Packers. Plus, this encourages us as an offense to know how to deal with, rough and tough defenses that we will be facing later on down the line. So this is your man, King Howard. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I'm out.